Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 1 of 2 of the GDQ Hotfix Trans Day of Visibility Celebration Showcase. My name is Quacksilver, and we are absolutely barreling through our first leg of this showcase with some Metroidvanias aplenty. And I am so excited for our next one. It is a game that I have been a diehard watcher of pretty much since it came out, and one of these days I'm going to play it for sure. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome to the stage LaurieDBunnykins running Pseudoregalia any percent out of bounds.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pseudoregalia. If you don't know what this game is, you're going to love it 15 minutes from now. My name is Laurie. I'm here with Vane. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm excited for this game schmooze,
This game,
to say the least.
Yeah. So, this game has a kind of slow opening, so we're just gonna get started as soon as possible. Time starts when I select my file in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So, Pseudoregalia is a 3D Metroidvania. The tagline that I see many people use is it's Castlevania 64 if it was good. Yeah, I've not played Castlevania 64, but they're probably right. And this run actually gets very few upgrades. There are 10 major upgrades in this game. We get 4 of them, and one of them is our sword, like our main weapon, and one of them is purely utility that does extra damage. So, for our sword, speaking of, we are going to use it for one boss fight. That is the final boss fight. Otherwise, we are going to use it exclusively to break walls. This game does have a combat bar similar to Hollow Knight. If you saw when I was hitting that enemy in the top left, the charge of the bar went up, and that's like what I use to heal. So, it's important we charge that bar throughout the run because it helps us deal more damage. We'll explain later. Here I do my first kind of movement technique of the run. I did a gainer. If you've played Mario 64 or like any 3D Mario, you might be familiar with like the side flip. Sybil can kind of do that, so if you like quickly stop and turn around, you can get a bigger jump. However, in this game, you can very easily redirect your momentum before jumping. So if I like flick back and then forward, I can get like the higher jump from the side flip, but it is still completely forward. And that is going to be really important when we get the slide, because I'm going to be able to combine those mechanics to break the game a little bit. Vane, do you want to talk about what I'm going to be doing here with the slide?
Yeah, so essentially there are 2 major things you're really doing with the slide. One of them being what you just saw Laurie do to get out of there, which is an ultra hop, which is basically just kind of doing a gainer in combination with the slide. It's a little more complicated than that, but for all intents and purposes, that's essentially what she's doing. And to get up to full speed as well for just general, jumping around all this castle here, glide hopping, which is basically just doing a slide and then jump canceling a slide and then jumping out of that, and that will put you at full speed, letting you just be at top speed pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, we're pretty much jump canceling like 2 slides in a row and canceling the first jump cancel into another slide. So it's a lot of fast button presses. You have to do a slide and then very particularly press slide and jump like on the same frame. Yeah, so the way that ultras work, as Vane explained, it kind of combines the gainer and the speed we get from a slide. That is because gainers carry your speed. So that's why ultras work, is because we like get that skid jump with all the speed that we have from the slide movement. There's also slide ultras where we do an ultra right out of a slide, and that is by forcing the skid state by pressing back from your slide and jump at the same time. And you can jump out of that and still carry a lot of your slide speed. You might notice sometimes when I do an ultra really well, I get this like gold trail. That is indicative of the patch of the game I'm playing on, the full gold patch. This is actually not the most recent update, because on the most recent update, the maximum height you can get from ultra hops without the slide upgrade Solar Wind is actually nerfed. So we use this update for some speedrunners use this update to change up the route a little bit and also make some strats more consistent to possible, such as this tower climb. The other like major movement upgrade that we really want in this game is inside this tower, so we have to do this very minimal tower climb to make our way over to that upgrade you see over there. Hopefully I don't
already kind of highlighting how powerful Slide is in its movement ability.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good tower climb.
That was very clean.
That is a really scary part of just about any out-of-bounds run, because Cling Gem is the reason we can go out of bounds. Cling Gem is a wall ride ability that is already really good for navigation. The wall ride is pretty fast, not like as fast as sliding. I didn't make that jump.
Oopsie.
The Cling is pretty fast, and it lets us wall ride pretty freely. We get a lot of air. You can get a lot of airtime out of it. You can like re-cling to a wall 6 times before needing to touch the ground and like refresh your resources. But as I mentioned, it's also like the main reason, or the main way we go out of bounds in this run, which we will explain when we get to the first clip. But on our way there, we have to, we don't have to, but we're going to go through the castle. The castle here, and this is going to be the last upgrade we're going to pick up. You can see it over there. And it's the reason why I want my combat bar filled. So Indignation is an upgrade that when my bar in the top left is at level 2, I get an attack range increase, and when it's at level 3, I deal double damage. So that's going to be really good for the final boss, so we're going to get back to trying to fill that. And coming up is our first Cling clip, and also, we didn't really talk about the goal of the game. Pretty much, at the top of the tower remains is a big door, and we need 5 major keys to open it. So we're going to start getting those now that we have all our items. And here we have this big gate, and I'm going to use my Ultra to get myself up into this corner, and then reposition myself carefully, and cling and hold and like press away from the corner on the same frame. And what happens when I do that is the game tries to reposition my cling into the corner with my updated direction all at once, and it repositions me into the corner. So I do it to get into this room, and then I'm going to try and do it to get out. This one is pretty precise. There it is.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice.
For that being like probably the hardest clip you like practically can do in a run, that is...
Yeah.
That's good for a marathon.
That's good for a marathon,
really
and I do like that trick like is one of the harder clips, but is one of the easiest to retry of all of them in the run. So
yeah,
you can definitely go for that. And if that clip is too hard, there is a backup strat. I know you still use that, and it's like not that much slower.
Yeah,
but yeah. You also might have noticed when I was doing those clips that sometimes I unfull screen the game. That is called a T-Tech, and the reason I do that, which I can explain while I'm just doing some movement to grab the next major key, is because this game's out of bounds can be a little bit finicky, where not every wall is like solid both in and out of bounds. Like it's not solid both directions, and so sometimes there are some walls that the game like wants you to clip back through to go in bounds, but like since it's a wall, the game doesn't want you to go through it. So it I don't like to say the game fights with itself, but it kind of tries to do 2 things at once, trying to push you in bounds while also stopping you from going through a wall. But if you like unfull screen the game like pauses for a small bit, and that's not like a lag thing. It like freezes. You don't have to have a bad computer to run this game, because I know lag clip is a sentence that scares some people.
One of those people.
Yep. But yeah, during that freeze, the physics will still kind of simulate, and you pretty much always get through the wall during that pause.
Yeah, it's either you can kind of get through instantly with the T-Tech, or like you'll get let through eventually if you choose not to.
Yeah. There are also some strats that I always T-Tech, but I don't think any of those exist in any of the categories I currently run, because they were like routed out of the old Hundo route. But yeah, Bane, I'm gonna let you take the reins for this area.
So we're heading in kind of the back half of the key collecting, since there is one key just on top of the tower we were in earlier. But we are in the Twilight Theater. This is across pretty much all categories, like the hardest section of the run. We're not going to be here for too long, but there are a lot of things to kind of look out for as a runner. There are a couple of precise ultras you're going to see Laurie try to attempt here to get to where we need to be. There's one.
Weird.
A little bit of a weird angle. Yeah, this is
5. We're good.
Oh, that was
no.
Oh no!
What the heck?
That was almost like such a
Okay, I'm gonna go for my backup. I'm gonna go for.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just showcasing already how kind of finicky some of these strats can be in theater. Yeah, this is where we were trying to go.
Oh my gosh.
All
right. Yeah, this is the part of my run where my PB loses 20 seconds.
Yeah, it is. It is incredibly easy to just have like something like one small thing go wrong and then just kind of snowball into everything. But into this main room here, the major key we're looking for is in that big cage. To unlock that big cage, we need to hit these 2 switches. We can hit them from out of bounds, and then just kind of T-tech back into the goop there. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. It can be again a bit finicky.
I've noticed sometimes the camera angle is important. I didn't hit the switch.
No.
The camera angle is important because if you're holding straight forward, obviously it can influence where Sybil is facing, and that sometimes matters. I hit the switch this time. There we go.
Back in like that. And we are now going to be out of here. So like I said, not a super long section, but there is a lot of happening in that short amount of time that it's just, again, it's so easy to just lose time to anything there.
Yeah, grabbing that major key is just like super dense, like of a thing. And then the movement to get out of the theater, this room is one of my favorites if it's done right.
Nice.
God, I have to play this game.
I was so not confident right there, Darren, let me tell you. I did not know where I was landing.
So here, this is going to be our last major key, just kind of out in the open in the Bailey, where we were earlier for a short bit, going up to the tower, and instead of just saying, you know, hi in the tower, we're going to actually go to the tower, because now we need to be there to unlock the big door that we've been trying
We have
to do.
4 major keys, the 5th one is just right next to the big door, so...
Yeah. And this time we don't have to climb the tower. If you kept a keen eye earlier during all the tech explanation, we did open a bit of a shortcut. So we don't have to do all of that again. There is a little bit of climbing involved that is still a bit difficult if you are not careful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, already, just this game's any percent is breakneck. It is
it's
very,
so
very fast.
cool. And if you think this run is cool, you should watch 100%.
Honda's so cool.
100% is like pretty similarly breakneck with so many more like wild strats. It's so cool. And I already like this run a lot. 100% is even better, but...
Hondo is not even that much longer, correct? Like it's...
My 100% PB is 26.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So 100% the game. This game is $6, by the way. Not on
loves indie devs.
Yeah. But coming into the final boss is annoying.
Yeah.
A little bit unfortunate. This boss is long and pretty difficult in any percent because we only have a few like pretty basic tools to fight it. I haven't used this lock-on feature pretty much at all, but this boss teleports a lot, so I'm going to keep that on during the fight so that I know where she is. The other thing important to keep in this fight is the way I'm hitting her. I'm not going for a full melee combo because the last hit of the combo is long and doesn't deal any extra damage. So I'm going for 2 hits, waiting, and then going for a full combo of 3 before she teleports. But that's fight basics. Vane, if you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that this fight's comprised of 2 phases, which we're probably going to be entering the second phase soon once you hear the glass breaking, but she just teleports around and uses randomized abilities, or randomized attacks, more rather there's the glass breaking. So it's just really about trying to adapt as best you can and knowing what to do exactly for each attack. That's a Beyblade.
Also, there's no visual of her health, but time is when she dies.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah, which will be sometime soon.
she'll start kind of curse bloating a little bit.
Yeah. Also, something I haven't mentioned, but as I mentioned, the bar in the top left that we're getting our double damage is the same one that we use to heal. So that's another thing about this fight, is if you want to do it fast, you just kind of can't heal. I'm going to. That's time.
That's time.
If I needed to, but I'm awesome.
GG.
Very
Yeah,
good.
that was pretty quick.
Yeah. That was like a minute off my PB, which in a marathon is really good. Like, this game is not easy.
Yeah.
What's the spread on RNG for the last fight? Like, how much time can it take up?
I mean, so that was a pretty good final fight, I'd say. There are, I believe, 6 attacks, but 3 of them have a 3 out of 14 chance to be used instead of a 2 out of 14. So it's 6 attacks, but like 2 of them are slightly more likely. You saw the Beyblade, which was the long spinning around, which like it takes a while for her to get vulnerable there. We didn't see in phase 2 the attack where if you remember the attack in phase 1 where she like fired a tracking ball, in phase 2, in that attack, she'll fire like 8 or so and teleport every time.
Oh, good.
So that fight is that attack you really don't want to see, and I've had fights where I see that attack like 5 times in a row.
Good. Well, that was a absolutely commanding showcase. Please, it's Trans Day of Visibility. Be visible. Tell the people who you are, who your friends are, any shout outs you'd like to give, and where they can find you.
All right. So I want to give a shout out to the Pseudoregalia community in general. Is comprised of a bunch of really cool people united around a cool as heck game. I want to give a shout outs to Jaxler in particular, who I've been friends with for a while and has run this game on GDQ a lot, as well as Killing Pepsi and Wilbun, who are 2 of the biggest reasons that 100% run is as cool as it is. I want to shout out, obviously, Vane for running this game and being here with me, and also being susceptible to me telling people to play all my favorite games. I also just want to shout out a bunch of my friends who are going to be in this event. I can't remember everyone right now, but the next run by Lonely is going to be super excited. Vane is commentating Luigi's Mansion tonight, and then playing Jet Set Radio Future Bingo tomorrow with Shovel Claws. And also, I'm really excited for Quacksilver playing Rift of the Necrodancer. The schedule is so cool. So yeah, I think everyone should just be here all weekend. That's really all I have to say. Have a good one. Vane, you have anything?
You can find me twitch.tv/Vane_SR and on Blue Sky on VaneSR. I play a variety of things, really. A lot of Jet Set Radio Future, as mentioned, due to recent events of getting that in. That'll be sick. Please go watch it. We get 1 match to make it count. Also go watch Luigi's Mansion later tonight. That'll be also very, very fun. Yeah, that's kind of about it. Play this game in 6 hours.
Play this game. That's me calling out Quacksilver specifically. Thank you both so much for this incredible showcase. As mentioned, we are moving right along into Castlevania after the break, so the Metroidvanias will continue until morale improves. Please get some rest, stretch your hands, do what you gotta do. We're gonna take a quick break, but we'll be right back.